Hey everybody, been a day of non-stop mods. So anyways, got it in the radio. It's not soldered down so that I can take it out if I need be. It's just sort of sitting in place. Got a coax going down, display, no encoders are hooked up, just defaults to channel 20, which is good enough for me. Having a problem, and reached out to Mike. He told me that this is supposed to be a 1306 and 1307 output transistors, which, I kind of figured, but I just wanted to be sure. And he confirmed that in the photo fact. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced. Because these are working. They're just, it's just poor performance. So, here's the question. Sort of crowdsourcing the issue here. This is a Washington 858, so it's the rather uncommon one. But these have mica insulators, and I'm not entirely sure that this was supposed to have mica insulators, because it's got a porcelain spacer here on both of these, but I think these have been changed, and if I'm not mistaken, because these have been changed and these micas, it's probably why I'm having issues with this. I'm probably coupling half the RF into the chassis. So I don't know. I guess I don't know how I would really confirm that. But I have a sneaking suspicion. So does anybody know if this was supposed to have mica insulators? Now that's probably an original, looks like original factory compound and everything. These are definitely been changed, because these is a GE 215 and a GE 216. So I since they're working, the transistors are working, and the waveform doesn't look particularly terrible. Yeah, looks fine to me. It's just the output power is very low, and I don't want to sync a real 1306 and a real 1307 into this, because, well, they're sort of unobtainium, and I've got a bunch, but I don't, feel like wasting them if I don't have to. Nothing else in here had a porcelain insulator, but these guys here I think should have. So that's the question. Do they have porcelain insulators or not? But anyway, progress on this. I had a hell of a time with this, and it turns out that see, I've got several variants of these little displays. Like, here's an example of one that I just broke. You see that the chunk taken out of the corner down there in lower right there? That's because, well, I drop these things on the floor and they break. So I have bunches of them. But I got these ones with the yellow on the top of them. I thought they'd be cool to try out, but there's something different about these. I got these off of AliExpress, and they work fine. There's nothing wrong with these. But I was having trouble with the I2 bus, and because on the back here, try not to shadow things too much, there's a place for two pull-up. You see the sets of pads down there, right here. Those are for two pull-up resistors. And well, it turns out that this display, unlike some of the other variants I had, it has pull-up resistors on it. So I've got pull-up resistors here, and I've got pull-up resistors over here, and I've got, I started having problems. I couldn't get this thing to boot. And that's because one of the first things that this thing does when it boots is it tries to initialize the bus. It tries to talk to the peripherals. The synthesizer and, in the display, it couldn't talk to them. And it's just like, why is it not working? Of course, you probe it out with a scope, and you look at it, and you realize it's not pulling it down enough. In fact, in this case, it wasn't pulling it down at all. So, That's a little bite that I had there, because at first I was like, okay, is there something wrong with these? Because I've got a couple of FETs here that do level shifting, because this needs 3.3 volts and the display needs 5, and you know there's all kinds of issues like that. But I got it figured out. These wires here that are just flapping in the breeze, these are actually for the mode lights, and these are going to go up to here on the board so that I could determine the mode. Just haven't connected any of that stuff up yet. Just trying to solve the output power problem. Anyway, on the bottom, nothing special, just tapping off some power over by the relay when the radio switched on. This board was cracked, and it's no trace repair. I haven't bothered to do anything really with it. See that the encoder's removed. This resistor right here is to pull lock detect down, because when I disconnected, I don't know how well this is going to show in the camera, but I'll point to it right there. When I disconnected the output of the VCO on this, because of the way that this VCO is designed, it went out of lock, so I had to force it locked by pulling the lock detect down, because if it's high it's not locked. So it's just a 1K resistor pulling it down, nothing big. So that's basically where I'm at with this, but I really need to find out about this, whether or not these needed porcelain insulators, and if it does, well, I don't have any porcelain insulators, so I'm gonna have to try to find some. I never bothered to look, because the applications that I typically work with, micas work fine, but micas here, I believe, I believe that's wrong. So if somebody knows, let me know. So anyway, that's the progress for now. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys later.